Hello, welcome back. In this week's video, I'm going to discuss the importance of articulating our joints. I'll also elaborate on many of the benefits that we can experience from doing so regularly and learning to do so well. And doing so well implies that we're doing so from a good base position. That is a long, stable, neutral spine. This shape that I'm demonstrating now, I'm releasing tension, maintaining stability, and adapting to a good position so that I can then translate this position into different shapes such as sitting, kneeling, side lying, and articulate my joints from those different shapes. So the length means not retracted, not compressed. So for instance, with my scapula, here I'm going to show you retracted scapula. That's short. Protracted is long. Extending neck is short. Dumping neck is also shortening. Extending lower back and extending thoracic spine. These are all compressing my spine, shortening it, and making it less stable. So we're going to maintain this long neutral shape throughout. This is our foundation. I like to think of it in relation to language and communication. When trying to communicate in a given language, it helps to have a good base understanding of that language, the rules and the structure of it. And as with movement, it's best if we do so with a good structure. And when it comes to articulating words, this helps us be understood better and communicate more effectively. And so with articulating our joints, learning to do so allows us to move more freely and sustainably. So develop a good base and you will be unlimited in the ways that you can express with your body. In the same way that we train our base position in order to develop the habit of moving from a place of stability, articulating our joints on a regular basis helps us develop the habit of healthy joint function. Isolating our joints also requires stability, so practicing these articulations is a great way to help us develop stability. This gentle and very intentional, full expression of our range of motion in each individual joint is an act of lubrication as well, and doing so will help ensure that we maintain fluid movement for a good long time. As we develop a better understanding of stability and expand our capacity to remain stable at end range of motion, we'll begin breaking up scar tissue that has accumulated in our joints from limited movement patterns, injuries, or inactivity, and therefore we'll be expanding the range of motion that we have access to in these individual joints. So isolating individual joints like this and expressing their full range of motion certainly requires a lot of attention. And as I've discussed in a previous video, developing this capacity to pay attention is one of the main intentions of this training process. And I believe it's safe to say that we can all benefit from developing our capacity to pay attention and heightening our awareness. Slow down. Be intentional. Attend to your body. You don't need to be anywhere else other than right here, right now. The last thing that I'd like to discuss in relation to all of this is the relationship that we have with our bodies. This training is an act of communicating with our bodies, and the best way to improve relationships is through good, clear, intentional communication. So we are communicating with our bodies, and through this communication we are deepening our understanding of our current state, our current condition. Yes, it is hard to look in the mirror sometimes, but if we are not willing to look, then we'll never learn to love what we see. So have a good look. Accept where you are at. Acknowledge where you have been, and be glad for where you are going now. Whatever limitations we may be living with, and whatever neglect we may have allowed ourselves to endure, can all be undone, and we are undoing it now. Continue to communicate with your body on a daily basis, and rejoice in the improvements that you're making each and every day. So celebrate your victories, and recognize that you have earned them. You do deserve them. Everyone benefits from positivity and encouragement, and we all have the power to be our own best friend. Take care, my friends.